Alrighty, Saturday night in the NBA, only 5 games. Should be a quick show. I like a quick show. Recording this a little bit later today, my time, Sunday evening. Just had some nice pizza and thought I'd record a show. Welcome to Stuff It, Fantasy Basketball Podcast, brought to you by FanDuel, as always, and part of the Old Man Squad. Please subscribe, like this video, go and download on the audio platforms. Do everything. We appreciate it. Let's just get into the games, shall we? Only 5 of them, as I said. I love a small slate. The first game of the evening. Actually, do we want to start with... Yeah, all right. I think that's... Hang on. Let me check the order that we've got this. No, let's start with this one. Yeah, this makes more sense. Because this was the first game. This was an early start here in Australia, 9 a.m., which I do like the early games as well. 108-100, the Cleveland Cavaliers beat the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis hung around, credit to them, and then they, I think they were actually ahead going into the final quarter, and then obviously realised that they meant to be losing games, not winning games, and Cleveland came over the top of them. Let's start with the Grizzlies and Ja Morant. 6 minutes he played. 7 points, 2 assists. We don't care about the numbers here. It is the fact that he only lasted 6 minutes and then was ruled out with a calf injury. Now, calf soreness, I'm pretty sure, is what it was labelled as. And as we know, that means absolutely nothing. Hard to know what to expect here. Ja Morant is obviously no stranger when it comes to missed time. The Grizzlies, are they incentivized to have him on the court? I would argue potentially not. In saying that, they don't really have a lot of options at point guard at the moment. So if you've got Ja Morant, you just have to hope that this was precautionary. But usually with these soft tissue injuries, even when they're labelled as soreness, it can often mean a grade 1 strain, something like that. And teams will usually be a little bit cautious. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if he misses a game, maybe a week, and then they reevaluate him. But remember that Anthony Davis, he also left the game, whenever it was, a couple of weeks ago, with calf soreness and has missed, what's he missed? 10 games, maybe? So 3 weeks, I want to say. So just be prepared. On a positive for the Grizzlies, Zach Edey returned. So first game of the season for him coming off surgery. Encouraging, 25 minutes. I thought they'd probably limit him to about 20. So the fact he played 25 would indicate that he's ready to go. 13 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 3 of 7 from the field. That will get better, obviously. So biggest takeaway here is the fact that he was actively defending and racked up some of those defensive stats. He was involved offensively, not hugely, but he was involved. So a good sign. If he is available, he's probably not, but if he is, make sure you go and pick him up. Cedric Howard started. So he stuck in the starting lineup here. Only 10 points, 8 rebounds. But the fact he started only 25 minutes, but as I said, this was a funny game. So they were winning. Their bench sort of built the lead. So I wouldn't read too much into the minutes here. But if he's going to start and play 25 plus, he is a hold. Jalen Wells, I guess if Ja Morant misses time, maybe Wells gets a little bit of a bump. I don't see him as a must-roster player, though, speaking long-term. Jaren Jackson, 26 points, that's really nice. Season high for him, I believe. Only 1 block. Obviously, with Edey back, his defensive numbers are going to come back down, but still had foul trouble, 5 fouls. That's been an issue for him all season. Played 33 minutes and shot 6 of 23 from the field. So that's pretty rough. And if Ja Morant misses time here, as I said, they don't have a lot of options. So Jaren Jackson, look, his points production could go up, but the efficiency could come down. And if we just shuffle down to the bench there, you can see with Edey back, Jock Landale played 19 minutes only. No need to be holding on to him. And then we're just going to get bits and pieces, I think. If if Morant is out. Remember, there's no Ty Jerome, there's no Scottie Pippen. Vince Williams potentially steps in and plays that role, even though he's not a point guard. He had 8 points with 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. He would probably be the one. If I wanted to take a flyer, it would be on him. It wouldn't be KCP. It wouldn't be Cam Spencer. It wouldn't be John Concha. Aldama should be rostered everywhere anyway, and probably gets a few extra minutes, as he always seems to find a way to just play enough to be rostered. So Vince Williams, probably the guy I'm looking at there if Ja Morant misses time. For the Cavs, Donovan Mitchell was great. Sam Merrill was not. He is a 3-point streamer only. DeAndre Hunter, probably his worst game of the season, but that's fine. He's been really good. Mobley was very good in this one as well. 22 points, 13 rebounds for him with 4 blocks. It's what we came to see, isn't it, this season? Jarrett Allen had 16 and 6. That's about what we expect from him, sort of low teens, maybe mid-teens. You probably want a couple more rebounds here and a block. That's about what we expect. Lonzo Ball's best game as a Cav? Maybe. 9 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 3 threes. I'm still not rushing out to add him after this game. It's sort of a one-off. I guess you stream him in for assists and steals, but outside of that, no thanks. And obviously now that they're relatively healthy outside of Darius Garland, Craig Porter is not worth holding onto. All right, the next game of the night is the Thunder and the Hornets. And unsurprisingly, the Thunder get this done 109-96. It wasn't that close. The Thunder were pretty well in control of this from the get-go. Shea, very good again. Don't really need to talk about him. Or Chet or Isaiah Hartenstein. They've all been really good. Lou Dort returned and did nothing. We're not adding him. The biggest takeaway whenever Lou Dort returns or plays is that he takes minutes away from other players who can have fantasy value, namely AJ Mitchell. We'll get to him in a second. So Dort, don't add him. Cason Wallace was better in this one, 30 minutes, 10 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. This is about what I expected from him coming into the season. Efficient, low scorer, couple of assists, high steals, and that's what we got. So I'm not dropping him. I think his role is very secure. AJ Mitchell had 14 points with 6 rebounds, 4 assists, steal and block. So the numbers are good. But the worry here is that they do go with Dort in closer games. So AJ Mitchell, clearly a hold, but just monitor what his playing time looks like. Isaiah Joe, 3-point streamer. Alex Caruso played 2 minutes and wouldn't you know it, got injured again. I streamed him in for some steals. And of course, he got injured after 1 minute and 42 seconds. He's a bum. Drop him. You don't need to be holding him. For the Hornets, there was no LaMelo Ball. I talked about this on the show yesterday. The writing was on the wall, wasn't it? And hopefully you held Colin Sexton. Now, he wasn't amazing, but 13 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 3 threes is not nothing. I do think with LaMelo back, Sexton is very borderline. Con Knipple, look, we can forgive him, I think. 8 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. The 2 blocks are nice. Just shot the ball poorly. He's been a lot better than this. He is a pretty safe hold. Bridges, he's very up and down, but again, the role consistent. Sion James, don't need to be holding him. Kalkbrenner returned after his personal absence. I believe his wife, girlfriend, partner may have had a baby recently, so I don't know if it was related to that. He missed, obviously, the night before. 13 points, 7 rebounds, a steal, and a block. He continues to be very good. The minutes, they're not awesome here, but he had a night off. And Moussa Diabate is playing well, 13 and 11 for him with a steal and a block. Both of those guys are worth rostering at the moment, believe it or not. Trey Mann is not. With LaMelo back, it just takes this value away from Mann and KJ Simpson. And if they can't put up numbers when LaMelo is not there, and Brandon Miller, who is probably due back maybe this week, if not the week after, then there's no reason to be holding them either. All right, game number 3, the Raptors and the Pacers. Comfortable win for the Raptors, as you would expect, playing this Indiana team. And it was the usual suspects. I mean, do we need to talk about any of the guys here? I don't think so. RJ Barrett has settled back into being a relatively high volume scorer on low efficiency with no defensive stats, and that's who he is. Quickly continues to be, I would say, I'm not going to say underwhelming, but certainly hasn't been blowing anyone away. I mean, he's fine. He's a hold. It could be a bit of a buy low, but maybe this is just who he is on this team. Ingram has been good. Scotty Barnes, very good in this one, and it didn't take high volume scoring or anything like that. 14 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Jakob Poeltl, probably his best game, at least since returning from the injury, potentially of the season. 22 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. Honestly, you would want a performance like this against Indiana, so not surprising. Mamukelashvili, 12 points, 4 rebounds, a steal, a block, 3 assists. He's like a back-end guy, a streaming option. He's playing a fairly consistent role, so I don't mind just streaming him in as required. Oh, we don't need that there. Oh, go away. Colin Murray-Boyles had 10 points. I don't think you need to be holding him as long as Poeltl is healthy. If Poeltl goes down at any point with sort of a re-aggravation of the back injury or something like that, then maybe Murray-Boyles gets a look, but at the moment, I don't think so. Same goes for Grady Dick, Jamal Shead, Jacoby Walter, even Garrett Temple played, so that tells you all you need to know about this game. Oh, what is this guy doing? Why does he keep popping up? Oh, look at that. How annoying. Yep. Can I get rid of that? All right, well, I just won't touch the screen. The Pacers, they I mean, their starting lineup, it's anyone's guess, isn't it? Nembhard, very good. Siakam, very good. Jarris Walker, 8 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Poor shooting. That's sort of who he is. He can chip in a bit across the board, but typically on low efficiency. He's almost like an Obi Toppin who can't shoot. Which is not ideal for fantasy. Again, streaming maybe. Jeremiah Robinson-Earl had 7 and 6 in a start. Not really interested in him. Bradley, 5 points in a start. Isaiah Jackson, 6 points, 6 rebounds in 19 minutes off the bench. No, thank you. Ben Shepherd is trash. No, thank you. This guy's going to pop up again here when I scroll down, isn't he? TJ McConnell, look, he's ramping back up. The minutes have increased every game so far. He's played 3 since returning. The worry here is that his ceiling, which we thought coming into the season might be 24 minutes, 25 minutes, I fear that it could be lower. It could be 22. And 22 minutes is not enough for TJ McConnell. I don't mind holding him for another week, just if you can afford to hold him. He'll give you some assists, he'll give you some steals, but I do worry that we're going to get to a point where he can be dropped. Alrighty, the next game is the Nuggets and the Timberwolves, but before we get into that game, I'll remind you that today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Sportsbook.fanduel.com is the website. Looking at the Coach of the Year odds, I always look at the player odds, but the Coach of the Year odds, Willie Green is not on there. Just a heads up. Hopefully you didn't have some money on him for Coach of the Year. JB Bickerstaff, currently the favourite, followed by Mitch Johnson from the Spurs, JJ Redick from the Lakers, and Mark Daigneault from the Thunder. Interesting. Let me open it up here on my screen and see who else is sitting in there that I think. Ime Udoka is interesting at plus 3,000. I mean, who's to say the Rockets won't finish top of the West? I mean, probably the Thunder, but even if the Rockets finish second, is that enough? David Adelman is at plus 3,000 as well. Quinn Snyder at plus 3,000 is interesting if he can get the Hawks up and over the hump this season. Maybe. Anyway, some interesting odds there. Sportsbook.fanduel.com. All of your betting needs over there. The Nuggets and the Wolves for the Denver Nuggets. They got the win, 123-112. This was closer than that. Denver pulled away late. Minnesota did stick with them. They just didn't have that polish that the Nuggets have. Nikola Jokic, don't need to talk about him. 6 turnovers. That's sort of a negative. Jamal Murray was good in this one as well. 11 assists. Always like to see more assists out of Jamal Murray. Aaron Gordon continues to be, a little bit up and down, but generally speaking, he's been really good this year. What we want to have a look at here with Christian Braun out is what were these minutes like? What was the production like? Peyton Watson, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 4 steals, 1 block, 40 minutes. I think he has to be rostered here. The offense will be wildly inconsistent, but he's a decent rebounder usually, and a good source of defensive stats. So I think if Peyton Watson's available, especially if you're punting points, which I am in a lot of leagues, I would give Peyton Watson a look. Tim Hardaway had 23 points, nothing else, in 38 minutes. Now, yes, that is a rosterable line, 23 points with 5 threes. But how often is he going to shoot 75% from the field and 83% from 3? Now, and think back to last season even. He was starting for Dallas. Was it Dallas? How can I have forgotten that already? Anyway, we've seen him in a starting role for the last however long, and he has not been a must-roster player. So, yes, he is going to play a lot more minutes here. Does that make him a must-roster player? Maybe. I'm certainly not going to say yes. If you need threes, then definitely, yes, I would pick him up for threes. But if he goes 2 of 8 here and 1 of 6 from 3, and I mean, he got to the line 6 times. Is he going to do that every night? Probably not. So, I mean, his percentages come down. Even 4 of 8 and 3 threes and 2 trips to the line, that's sort of like 13 or 14 points with 3 rebounds and an assist. And that is not a 12-team line. That is a streaming line. Bruce Brown had 7 points with 6 rebounds, 1 assist off the bench. That is obviously not a rosterable player, but the 34 minutes are very intriguing. More than Jamal Murray, more than Aaron Gordon. Now, this is not going to be a trend or anything, I don't think. But if Tim Hardaway is not shooting the ball like he was in this game, I think they lean into Bruce Brown a bit more. So I would still prefer Brown slightly over Hardaway. Now, of course, that could change if Tim Hardaway can maintain this production. Long story short, have a look at both of them. If you need threes, give Tim Hardaway a look. If you need other stuff, give Bruce Brown a look. Peyton Watson probably has to be rostered. Yeah, that's sort of it, isn't it? 6 minutes for Jonas Valanciunas. He's arguably one of the best backup centers in the league, but just isn't playing enough at the moment to be rostered. Let's look at the Timberwolves. Let's just move this. Oh, not that far up. There we go. For the Timberwolves, again, we know the story, don't we, with these guys when they're healthy. Edwards, Randall, they do the bulk of the work on the offensive end, as they did in this one. DiVincenzo, only 22 minutes, not his best game. They just went a little bit bigger here with Naz Reid playing 35 minutes. If he was, if he was going to play 35 minutes a night, he'd be a must-roster player. It probably is rostered. 19 points for Naz Reid with 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. Rudy Gobert's worst game of the year, probably, and against Jokic, not surprising. 18 minutes for him, 4 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 blocks. He'll be fine. Jaden McDaniels had 15 points with 4 rebounds, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 3 assists. Continues his really good season. He did get into foul trouble in this one, though, so only 21 minutes for him. So considering the low minutes, I think you're pretty happy with the production. We're not interested in Mike Conley or Jalen Clark or Rob Dillingham or any of those guys on the bench. All right, the final game of the night. The Lakers and the Bucks. This one actually didn't end last. The Nuggets game did, but this must have been scheduled latest, or anyway. Lakers get the win, 119-95. Probably flatters the Bucks a bit. I feel like the Lakers were up by about 30 at halftime. Hence, the sort of some wacky minutes here for certain players anyway. It was surprising to see Luka and Austin Reeves out there for this amount of time when they were winning so comfortably. Luka, 41 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 18 of 20 from the line. So fantastic night for him. Austin Reeves continues to be really good. I get questions about him with LeBron sort of back potentially this week. I guess if you want to try and sell high on Reeves, you could, but I would only do that if you're getting a top 20 player back. Anything else, I still think he can maintain third round value moving forward. Jake LaRavia got a start here. Marcus Smart was out with, I think it was an illness, so nothing to worry about. 4 points for LaRavia, 2 steals. If he was playing 30-plus minutes, he'd probably be a hold, but he's not. Bronny James started, God knows why. 0 points, 10 minutes. Who knows what they're doing there. DeAndre Ayton had 20 points, 10 rebounds, 2 steals and a block, and 2 free throws. There you go. That's a great night for DeAndre Ayton. Dalton Connect, for whatever reason, played 34 minutes off the bench. He had 9 points. Look, the numbers are okay. 9 points, 3 steals, a block, 6 rebounds. But we know the story with Dalton Connect and Maxi Kleber and Jackson Hayes. Jared Vanderbilt basically didn't play, so there's no real reason to be holding him. And you can see there, Marcus Smart was out with an illness. For the Bucks, not a great night. Giannis, look, he did his thing, 32 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and a block. It just took him a while to get going in this one. Second half was a lot better than his first half. Ryan Rollins had 10 points, pair of steals, 3 assists, 0 of 3 from 3, so not his best night, but he's obviously still doing enough. AJ Green, 5 threes, that's why you have him. Miles Turner was pretty rough. 3 points, only 4 shot attempts. He had 8 rebounds and a block. He'd been better than this. Maybe you could execute a little bit of a buy low here. But let's talk about Kyle Kuzma, who was coming off. Now, can I remember what he got in that last game? 29 points, 10 rebounds. I can't remember how many assists he got. I think he got 4 steals and a block, maybe. Anyway, probably his best game of the season. 1 point for Kyle Kuzma on 0 of 6 shooting. He had 1 rebound. He had 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks, and went 1 of 2 from the free throw line, only played 20 minutes and had 5 fouls. So his worst game of the season, probably. He'll be in between. I would hold him if you picked him up because he had been obviously playing a lot better than this, but we know the story with Kyle Kuzma, so it's not really that surprising. Gary Trent had 13 points off the bench. He's just a 3-point streamer. Bobby Portis, I mean, I can say he's not a must-roster player, but I know he is rostered in most leagues. Cole Anthony, we do not need to be rostering him. He's sort of fizzled out into not nothing, but very little. 0 points for him. He had 7 assists. He had 5 rebounds, 2 steals. That somewhat salvages his night, but he's not coming for Ryan Rollins' starting spot at this point. And that's probably all we need to look at, I think, for the games. Let's put a pin in it right there at 23 minutes. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Dan will be back with the Sunday recap, as long as the rest of the week. I should have my waiver wire show out early this week. I'm not sure exactly when. I've got a few hectic days at work, but we'll squeeze it in there. The mailbag shows will be running back-to-back on Wednesday, my time. I should have Noah back for that one, I hope. Was I on with Josh? Yeah, I was on with Josh last Friday, so I won't be on with him this Friday. I think Dan and I may team up for some sort of a show. I don't know what it'll be yet. We'll figure that out during the week. A reminder to please subscribe to the Old Man Squad YouTube channel. Go and download all of the episodes on the audio platforms. Give this episode a thumbs up as well. Do all of that stuff. Make Dan a happy man. I'm Adam King. This has been Stuff It, a fantasy basketball podcast. We are done.